game after we opened so slowly and so clumsily. Don't get me started on what is a sandwich and what isn't. Sandwich implies two pieces of bread. This is an argument for the ages, isn't it? Tutor asks Lexi, "Am I a sandwich?" Are we talking about Russian sandwiches? You need two pieces of bread. The sandwich alignment chart. Lexi has contributed to the chat famously. The cube rule, I think, is I subscribe to the cube rule. If people aren't aware, I don't really know what I'm doing with myself on stream. So let's pull up the sandwich alignment chart and just examine it together. Since I have to go to like work and school. This is like the start of my day. Well, it's like almost noon, but I've got a meeting. I've got to do work in the lab. I've got to put some stuff together to teach some high school kids, the after school program I teach. So I have a lot to do. But you know, why not just hang out here a little bit longer together? Okay, sandwich alignment chart. For the uninitiated, there is structure and ingredient. So contents versus shape. And you've got like sensibility and then like rigor, and then like insanity, like anarchy basically. So this is where we're at. I mean, obviously BLT is a sandwich, right? So all of these guys are traditional sandwich elements. This is like, okay, you could consider these things maybe like, at least they're savory, but then this is just like, what the fuck are you calling a sandwich? Structure rebel. Yeah. So the two slices of bread camp would be here. Obviously anything in between, these are kind of all, according to the cube rule, these are all the same form of sandwich. And then, if a burrito or a Pop-Tart is a sandwich, that's just, could also put a pita here, maybe a calzone. Why did the music stop again? What's going on with our music today? Oh, it like, it shuffled to the last song in the playlist again. That's crazy. I do own at least two pieces of bread, claims Tutor. Wow, some people have everything. Calm down here with the humble brag. We also loaned sandwich words. Am I going for some casual quantum research after this? I am. It's true. After learning about sandwich research, I already knew about this. Semet structure rebel confirmed. I think that what I call a sandwich, I subscribe to the cube rule. Let's go. Oh, Sarp has kindly linked the cube rule here in chat. If anyone hasn't seen this, all right. The classic question is, are hot dogs sandwiches, right? Apparently New Yorkers, well, I think New Yorkers disagree in general, but according to law for tax purposes, hot dogs are sandwiches. And I mean, the internet took it too far. Pop-Tarts are a kind of ravioli, like, come on. But let's get to the real, here we go. This guy, he's got his references on point, on lock. Okay, so here's the cube rule. Okay. Identifying dishes based on starch location. So there's a cube, and then depending on how many and which of the faces of the cube are the starch, that puts it in a class. It's like we're doing. It's really not like we're doing. I was gonna say it's like group theory, but I mean I don't get like the symmetries that would result in, so it's not really group theory. Like I've heard a story where Apple had to make their music shuffling less random so it appears more random. Yeah, I think I've heard of that. What if it has two start sides that are adjacent? I can't really think of what that would be. I can't think of what that would be. I think that for all intents and purposes, I think that would probably be a taco. Like if we're talking physically, because a hot dog is just, you have the bun and it's just like cut into two, or like a submarine sandwich. And And I mean, technically, you know, you could consider that like just two sides of the cube, but you know, in practice, because, you know, 3 dimensions, it sort of wraps up, and so you kind of get bread on 3 sides, even though it's like 5D chess, how it's like 5D chess, but technically 4D chess or whatever. One of the sides of the taco is virtual in that situation. It's got length 0. I guess that doesn't make it a cube, but whatever. Yeah, so toast, sandwich, I think is clear, you know. Taco, also submarine sandwich, also depends on what kind, but could be considered a pita as well. Sushi is just like wrapped all around. Soup / salad with a bread bowl. Calzone here. And then there are examples. 2 non-start sides that are adjacent. Loads really quickly and just waits. Wouldn't be isomorphic to taco. They're all isomorphic or topologically equivalent, Andre. They're not all isomorphic. Well, okay, so isomorphism is different. What you're trying to say is homeomorphic. And this guy has genus 1. So actually, topologically, sushi is not homeomorphic to the rest of them, but everything else is homeomorphic. With the argument that maybe calzone isn't, because if it's like a shell, you know, then it's not like an open plane, then it's like a closed surface, you know, in 3D. So, I mean, if you really want to argue, then we have like 3 homeomorphism classes. It's like 1, 2, 3, 5, and then 4 and 6 are on their own. I don't know, just dropping smart words. What about only 3 faces adjacent to a vertex? Again, what would that be? What food would that be? I think that would, in almost every situation, probably in practice, be considered one of these situations, where it's like all like kind of like a pita or something. Yeah, if you have like 3 faces, I mean, in practice, 2 of those faces are going to be pretty much useless unless it's tilted in a way where all 3 of those faces are holding up all of the ingredients there. So I think that would be like effectively the soup salad with bread bowl. Sandwich is not homeomorphic to the others. Okay, sandwich technically not homeomorphic to the others. You're right. So our homeomorphism classes are actually like 1, 3, and 5. 2 is not homeomorphic to the others. You're absolutely correct. And then 4 and 6, because they're, you know, it's like 2 of the thing, so the group it's different. It's separated. Yeah, toast taco and soup salad are the same. Yeah, so the really important things are connected parts and whether they create a circle around the square. Yeah. Would that make scoop chips and salsa a salad bowl? Well, yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's fair because, you know, like thematically as well as like, you know, topologically, the point of it is to like hold an amount of something that would otherwise like spill over. So I think that like calling that like a super salad with a bread bowl, I think that's fair. Is cereal soup? It is according to cube rule. Actually, okay, we'll get there. All right, so toast is pretty obvious. Popular examples of toast. This is just a slice of pumpkin pie. Is Pringles toast? Pringles is definitely toast. What category are surfaces with negative curvature like Pringles? Yeah, I think Pringles is definitely toast, right? Just because it's like monolayer starch, you know, and they're not like, there isn't like another location with which you can compare the starch itself to. So I think that probably I would definitely call that toast for sure. How much curvature turns toast into soup? Yeah, I think that there's like a relativism thing that goes on because a few of them are like homeomorphic, right? So I think that there's like a relativism argument that comes into play, where if it's just bread that's like curved a decent amount, but there's nothing in it, probably I'd still consider that toast. You know what I mean? Like an empty bread bowl, I might consider toast. That's an interesting question. I don't know. Yeah, 4 classes. Yeah. Oh, the sandwich debate. This is a lecture on the cube rule, actually. This reminds me of what I'm studying about in machine learning. What makes it appealing, and how it makes appalling generalizations. Yeah. Did I start all of this? I'm proud. Andre, this is your creation. Could pumpkin pie slice be put into the soup salad bowl category? Lawnmower, I don't think so. I think that a full pie uncut is a soup or salad. I think that a single slice of pumpkin pie is toast. This comes close to the idea that earlier people were saying about, if you have like 2 adjacent sides, like 2 adjacent faces, what would that be? And I was like, well, probably that's always going to be a taco. But in this case, I think that it's fair to say that this is toast. Yeah. My life is not complete. What about a bagel where the 2 start surfaces are toruses and not planes? In that situation, first of all, I really appreciate what Average is doing here. More power to him. These are the questions that we need to answer. This is the true meaningful discourse. I think that in that case, if it's a bagel that's filled, I think I think you have to look at like locally. I mean, I know that a lot of these are based on like global, like symmetries or whatever, but I think that like, because locally it's effectively like, it's like a sandwich that's like been extruded around a circle, right? So I think that bagel would still be a sandwich. And then if it's open faced, I think it's like a piece of toast that's been like extruded, in such a way that I think it would be toast. Because again, it's relative starch location. So like if it was a bagel, but you only filled the whole of the bagel, I think it would be sushi. But if you place like cream cheese on the top of the bagel, I think that would be toast. And if you like have the 2 bagel halves and then the middle is cream cheese, I think that's definitely a sandwich for sure. Yeah. It's only a sushi if you leave the bagel whole and stick something through the middle. Yeah, it's a sushi if you well, you could cut the bagel slice and then put something in the hole as well. But what's important is that the starch in that situation is surrounding the filling like radially. All right, sandwich. Popular examples. This is a toast sandwich. Very good. Victoria sponge cake. Now we're thinking outside of the box. Non-folded quesadilla. Non-folded is crucial, of course, because if it's folded, then it becomes, well, it depends, probably a taco. But here it's just like 2 tortilla layers and then it's sliced. So this is a sandwich. What if the food is 5D? I'll need specific examples if you want us to work through this. You'll need to upload it to YouTube as a separate video. I think probably I won't upload this to YouTube, just because it's been done before. It's nothing special. We're just having fun, killing time. Tesseract rule. That'd be 4D. Okay, taco. Yeah, hot dogs are definitely tacos. Slice of pie is a taco on its side. Now this is a pie with a top crust as opposed to an open-faced pie like a pumpkin pie. And so I think this really gets to the heart of what the distinction is here. Because like the relativism argument, because like in what way is this not, you could maybe consider this to be like a taco, if you were naive. But no, I think in comparison to the pie slice with the top crust, I think it's obvious that this is a taco and the other one is a toast. Yeah. Imagine classifying food in higher dimensions. Dude, combinatorially, that just gets untenable, right? That's just an absolute nightmare. Although you probably have a lot more degenerate like options that don't really mean very much in higher dimensions, so you can throw more of the cases away. Sushi. Falafel wraps, definitely sushi. Pigs in a blanket, clearly sushi. And then enchiladas. Clear. Semet's thesis and hypercube rule. Well, I do have a paper about a graph theory paper about n-dimensional hypercubes, but unfortunately I wasn't able to fit, like shoehorn in any like culinary argumentative analogies. Couldn't make it happen. Hindsight's 2020, man. Next time I publish a graph theory paper about hypercubes, I'll definitely try and squeeze something in, for the fans. Isn't Hypercube that horror movie? Is it? Is Hypercube a horror movie? I don't know. If it is, I haven't seen it. I don't recall. Quiche. Okay, this is the alternative to the bread bowl interpretation. Who eats salad in a bread bowl anyway? I actually don't think I've ever had soup in a bread bowl. Yeah, that's a pretty kind of, bougie thing, I think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but that's my interpretation. So quiche. Okay, soup in a bread bowl, obviously. Falafel pita, I would agree. This is more of a quiche than a taco because the sides are sealed. There's only one direction where you can rotate it where shit falls out. So definitely falafel pita is a quiche. And then cheesecake obviously is surrounded, I mean, cheesecake is pretty liquid anyway until like you bake it and you let it set. So Cube 3, I think, was subtitled Hypercube. Oh, okay, one of the Cube movies. Of course it was. Good stuff. Quiche bonus round. I'm glad that we can finally classify deep dish pizza as a quiche, which is certainly not a pizza. I think that pizza is toast. I think it's fair to call pizza toast. I think that deep dish is definitely more of a quiche anyway. Some people have called it a casserole in the past. Yeah, that's my take on the issue. But I mean, okay, if it's a single slice, I guess it goes back to being toast. So salad in a bread bowl, again, this is just absolute nonsense. Like, who in their right mind actually does this? I like how they added two different types of, oh no, there isn't no pie here. Okay. Well, other open pies would also suffice here. What about deviled eggs? No starch. But they do have a food containment system. I think that the starch is crucial. The starch is crucial to this whole exercise. I think that it not being a starch really, but okay, let's say, like, for the sake of argument, I think that deviled eggs, it's an interesting one because it could be a toast. I think it's probably a toast because, well, okay, deviled eggs are pretty sticky, but like there are directions where you can rotate it where like the projection that isn't like greater than 80 degrees from when it's right side up, where the projection onto the horizontal axis below it contains egg. You know what I mean? Like, if it was just deviled eggs where they're only full up to like where the divot is in the egg, then that would be like a salad or a bread bowl or a quiche. But I think because for the most part, deviled eggs have like the dollop on top, that makes it so that if you turn it sideways, then ostensibly it is possible for the yolk part to fall out of the egg. I think that makes it toast. Not that it's a starch, but just for, as a hypothetical exercise here. There's a starchless category at the end. Oh shit, okay, we gotta get there. I think one should be called biscuits, not toast. Why? Was it because you're British? Maybe, right? It's because Sarp's got the British English influence. But biscuits mean something different to you than they do to me. So toast is universal. Everyone knows toast. Half an egg filled with bread. Half an egg filled with bread is toast. Yes. Yeah. Probably. Oh, it's interesting. What if you have a starch location that's not the primary vehicle for what you know what I mean? Like, if you have like, I can't really think of an example right now, but yeah, like if you had a deviled egg where in the deviled, the yolk bit, you know, you had a bunch of, I don't know, you had like rice or something weird. I don't even know what that would imply. Or maybe like, I don't know, I struggle to think, but what if there's like the starch is kind of like flat, but it's on top of a non-starch object? That's not any of the categories. I guess that's freeform. Okay, calzone. Calzone is going to be something that's totally closed. A whole pie that's got a crust on top, for sure. You mean starch in the middle? Unless it's fully enclosed by non-starch, it's still toast. That's fair. But what if it is fully enclosed by non-starch? Again, I can't really think of an example. What about like sarma or dolma in Turkish? So like stuffed grape leaves. There's like a rice, you know, meat spice concoction in the middle, but it's like usually grape leaves, sometimes collard greens or something else, cabbage sometimes. But it's surrounded by like grape leaves. So the starch is in the middle. What do we call that? Wouldn't sushi with nori be the same then? You're right. Like if the rice is in the middle and then it's surrounded by stuff. But then it's not. You're right. If there isn't rice on the outside of the roll, if it's like just if it's just nori. Very complicated. Wow, I didn't know that there were these levels to get into. Bonus round, yeah, dumplings. Unbitten Uncrustables, yeah, before you bite the Uncrustable, it's definitely a calzone. Once you bite it, it's definitely a quiche, for sure. Additional cube rulings. Okay, so layers give us cake. This is like bonus round. Layers give us cake. Lasagna. Now, flapjacks, I'm not so sure about, because if you're making flapjacks, right, there isn't anything in the middle, right? So it's really just like big stack of toast. I don't know that I would call that cake, because here there's got to be something in the middle, right? There's got to be layers. Big Mac makes sense. Lasagna makes sense. Flapjacks, not so much. Okay, so salad, just salad. I guess is just starch that's like shapeless. Or just no starch. Spaghetti is a real clusterfuck, isn't it? Soup is a wet salad, famously. Very good. Wait, hold up. All right. Go back to the spaghetti. This is a clusterfuck, isn't it? Yeah. I think the point is that there's no rigidity to the form. There's a formless mix of starch and non-starch. That must be what a salad is, I guess. What chocolate bars must be toast? There's no starch, Andre. There's no starch. Zero starch. That's the issue. If there's zero starch, it's definitely salad. It's gotta be. Chocolate with biscuits inside. No, there's chocolate with biscuits inside, fam. What do we do about that? It's like a reverse quiche. Or a reverse calzone, I guess. Like a pizza, but you roll it the other way around, then, you know. So either A, fully non-starch, B, fully starch, which sunglass emoji, that's really funny actually. Or C, formless mix. This is a pretty catch-all. You know, they kind of got lazy. They threw everything else back into this, I think. If mashed potatoes were flat enough, would it be toast? Oh no. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. I don't think that flat mashed potatoes or thin mashed potatoes would be toast. I think that I think that some amount of structural integrity is implied, like because there's like it's about like the content, it's about the connectedness of the space. Going back to the topological perspective, right? Like in this case, I consider mashed potatoes to be like like I don't think that mashed potatoes are a compact space, whereas toast is a compact space. You know, like you can remove any bit of this. You know what I mean? And it would just come apart from the rest. I think that you have to go back to the topological roots of the discussion to really make that determination. Shiv's here. Hey, Shiv's hopped on the stream. How's it going, man? What's up? You just missed an early morning tournament game. That's why I'm streaming right now. I really need to leave and go to work, but we just got into the cube roll discussion. So mashed potatoes confuse me. If mashed potatoes were flat enough, would it be toast? Yeah, I think the answer is no. The problem I have with the name toast is that toasts are sandwiches usually. Okay, must be a very like UK America thing. Toast here is a slice of bread that has undergone the Maillard reaction to some degree, onto which optionally things have been spread. 3O is now following. Thanks so much for the support. Thanks a lot, 3O. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying this. Sorry, it's false advertising. We're you know, the 5D is not happening at the moment, but we've got bigger fish to fry here. Mashed potatoes spread on a slice of baked potato. That's a toast. No, that's a toast for sure. That's a toast. But not because of the mashed potatoes, because of the baked potato. Because there's some structural, you know, it's closer to being like topologically compact. That's what I'm saying. There would be a full entity of starch, if it at all. Unless they really want to push the formless aspect. Yeah, if chocolate were toast, then it would change its state depending on the temperature. I agree that would be cool, but chocolate's not a starch, my dude. Starch is mandatory for it to not be salad. Famously. I've dropped into a crazy discussion. Dave's here. Wow, Babu and Shiv are both here, and they got here at the same time. That's weird. Were you guys like hanging out and then you popped in together? There is a full starch category too. No. Oh, maybe. We haven't gotten there yet. The only structural difference between a loaf of bread and mashed potatoes is integrity. Yes. But I think that's important. I think that's important. You know, because what if you had spaghetti and meatballs, but the spaghetti, you know, and there was no mixage happening yet, and no sauce, which I know is weird to think about, but and you just had a plate of spaghetti and then you placed meatballs on top. I think that that's not toast. I think that because it's not like a compact topological space, I think that it's a salad. And some math people in the chat, you know, correct me if compact isn't the right word. I think I meant compact. I don't know. Maybe I mean like Kolmogorov or like, you know, T4 or something. I don't know. There are sandwiches that are tacos in some places in Turkey. There are sandwiches that are tacos. Yeah, like a oh, because of the way that you hold it. No, that's a taco. That's the same as like a submarine sandwich is a taco. Like Sarp, the Turkish sandwiches that Sarp is referring to are definitely similar to like a hot dog submarine sandwich situation. I mean, you hold them upright, but you hold a taco up or a hot dog upright, and a hot dog is definitely a taco, for sure. So I think that those Turkish, you know, like if you get like, you know, whatever, like just donut off the street, and it's not in a pita, it's just like the usual, like, you know, bakery bread, and then like you slice down the middle and then you fill it. That's definitely a taco, you know. Or if you get like kokoreç, or, you know, basically most Turkish street food, I think would be a taco, for sure, hands down. I think spaghetti. Yeah, the spaghetti really vexed me. What's the genus of a plate of spaghetti? What are French fries? French fries are French fries. Now you got me. Now you got me thinking. French fries, I think, could either be, so poutine here they've put as salad, because it's formless. It depends on how micro a level you're getting into. I think because if it's a collective of things, I think that weights it towards salad. Like I think that, like, if rice is salad, then is rice salad? If just plain rice is salad, then I think that French fries are probably salad. I don't know if I agree with the potatoes and the spaghetti and salad. It's a tough call. I could see an argument being made either way. I think with spaghetti, it depends on detailization. What are you trying to say, Andre? Is convexity significant? It certainly is. Yeah, because it gets, I think you missed this part of the discussion, Shiv, but yeah, there's definitely a difference between like taco and toast. Like here you've got pumpkin pie and it's like slightly convex, but this is still toast. Let's be real. Then you've got a slice of pie, which is more convex. It's because of the crust on top. That's definitely a taco. And quiche is like full convexity, like a cheesecake or like a key lime pie. So I think that convexity certainly matters. So it's not just like topological homeomorphism. Like there's more to it than that, for sure. What on earth is a calzone? French fries are solids of starch. Okay, so a calzone is, I guess it's an American thing. It's like, imagine like a pizza type thing where with those ingredients where it's like bread and then like cheese and tomato sauce and stuff and other toppings, but it's like wrapped up into a vessel. So imagine like a closed body, like a hollow layer of bread, and then inside is what you would put on top of a pizza. It's like a closed up pizza. That's a calzone. Salad category is busted. It really is. Poison is really preaching to the choir here. Salad category is busted. They crossed the line with the poutine. I agree. I'm not so happy about the poutine. Not so happy about the poutine. I can see spaghetti and poutine being the same. I think so. I think that's fair. I mean, we're kind of playing it fast and loose here, but I think that there are similarities there. I suppose they just look at it in terms of structuralism, or there being no defined sides of starch. I think it's structuralism and also function. I think is probably part of it. I mean, the structuralism aspect I kind of understand, because the mashed potatoes, again, like I really agree that mashed potatoes shouldn't be toast, even if it's spread really thin. For the aforementioned topological, I think that connectedness matters. I think that connectedness definitely matters. I mean, you might be saying, okay, well then fries are like, sort of sub-connected. They're collections of connected bits. But, mashed potatoes are just like sub-granular. They're basically like, they're fluid. So I don't think that you could consider them toast. Imagine browsing Twitch for food discussion, expecting just chatting, and then seeing this game category. Yeah. I misread. Oh, you asked if Earth is a calzone. That's really funny. Oh, yeah. Instead of what on Earth is a calzone, what Andre actually asked is, wait, is Earth a calzone? And I think that that's definitely false. Let's ground the discussion here a little bit, Andre. Let's not get carried away. I mean, it's not. Where's the starch on Earth? Like it doesn't make sense. French fries are solids of starch, so are they loaves? So Poison asked. I don't think you could call them a loaf, but again, yeah, it goes back to like if it was like a basket of toast versus French fries, is a basket of toast a salad? I guess maybe it's a toast salad, because you have to look at sort of like the macro structure, right? Yeah, the same way that like in the deviled egg analogy, like, yeah, there's a bit of the deviled egg where the egg isn't a starch, but like structurally speaking, there's like a bit of it that's like exactly like a bowl, but then on like a macro level, like if you tilt it, then like the deviled egg will like fall off. Well, usually not because of the consistency, but so I think that probably like a large basket of toast is a salad. which might be controversial, I know, but I think for consistency here, we really gotta be careful. Yeah, no starch on. Well, there's starch around Earth. Horribly misspelled detailization. Toast requires a non-starch element. Toast requires a non-starch element. What about toast? What about like a slice of bread that has been toasted? Like the most basic possible definition of toast. Earth is a salad, I think. What about a knish? A knish is a calzone, isn't it? I have to remind myself what a knish is. No, is a knish like breaded and fried? Because if it is, it's still a calzone. I just don't like this. Formless is the same as starchless. I think it yeah. I mean, I guess it's about the form of the starch, and if there isn't starch, then, you know, then the starch doesn't have form. But I share your qualms. Maybe, well, I don't know. Maybe from like a math background, I'm slightly less upset about a category being slightly like less useful or more encompassing, as long as like the logic system is like consistent. But I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I'm apprehensive as well. Earth has a crust and mantle inside. That it does. But in a way, it's a soup. Listen, if it was like, what's that movie? Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, or that book, I guess. If like the surface of the Earth was made of like, you know, rolling hills of like lasagna noodles or like, you know, bread or whatever, then I'm with you. Even if it's filled with like, you know, molten like iron and shit, I think that you could still probably, because of the starch location, call it a calzone, but I just don't. And I mean, yeah, it opens up in places where there are like volcanoes, so it's not fully closed, but I mean, nothing's fully closed, right? There are like, you know, there are like solid paths for like air to penetrate, you know, most of these like fully enclosed things. So you kind of gotta have a little bit of give here. Soup is a salad, that's for sure. What would be a calzone filled with starch? I'd say a potato should be the name. What do you mean a calzone filled with starch? What would you fill a calzone with if it's starch? If it's starch mixed with other stuff inside, I think it's still a calzone. If you're saying like just to fuck with people, if someone baked a slice of bread or a loaf of bread that was hollow, and on the inside there was a loaf of bread that was completely separate, now you just have to ask, like, has man gone too far, you know? Like, you spent so long thinking about whether or not you could, you know, you didn't stop to ask whether or not you should. That's a brain buster. It's a real brain buster. I need to look up knishes though. Let's look up knishes. Knish. Oh, okay, yeah. So knishes are definitely calzones. Oh yeah, knishes are filled with well, it depends. Sometimes I think a lot of the time they're filled with meat. But they can be filled with like a potato type thing, like a potato knish. Yeah, like a vegan knish. What the fuck is a potato knish? That's like a calzone filled with starch. Oh man. Wow. This is fucking with me. Jeez. Yeah, what if the Earth's crust was starch? Yeah. That would definitely be what did I say? Calzone. That would definitely be a calzone for sure. Really feel like they should have added a loaf category as full starch solids. Yeah. But I think for the most, like, I think a loaf of bread is probably toast. I think that's fair. Toast would be a calzone, right? No. Calm down. I think that toast is definitely toast. Let's not mix our genres here. Then we're getting into the, you know, we're sacrificing like the utility of the system for basically pedantry, which is not a trade that I would ever make. Certainly not lightly. Yeah, no non-starch filling. But it's closer to a calzone than it is to toast, unless you consider air a topping. How is toast closer to a calzone than to toast? Unless you consider air a topping. What about a potato latke? Yes, okay, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, like a potato latke, where it's fried mashed potatoes. Fried mashed potato. Okay, if it's a potato, like latkes to me are they're somewhat analogous to pancakes or like to hash browns, where it's like a solid chunk of thing, where if you pick up one part of it, the rest comes with it. So I think that that's toast. To me, that's toast. For sure. Yeah, I think the connectedness is crucial from like a topological perspective. If I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. Or I've said it 1,000 times. If the topological connectedness of your starch is crucial in determining whether it is a salad or a toast. That's just where I fall on the issue. Can someone explain a formal definition of starch to me? Well, poison, just off rip. Yeah, long chain carbohydrates. Totes. Excellent. A singular French fry fits the calzone filled with starch. Yeah, stretching it, but I understand. You're right. I mean, the outside is definitely different than the inside if you're doing it right. So I don't know what the answer is in that situation. I don't know if that's toast or a calzone. Okay. We talked about relative starch location, right? The assumption here, I think, is I feel okay. Well, okay, the assumption here is that this is hollow, right? Whereas this is like a single connected piece. I mean, it's a bit misleading because this is 2-dimensional and this is 3-dimensional. But definitely I think that like if you have a thing that has nothing inside of it, if you have a starch that's filled with starch inside with nothing else inside, I feel fine calling that toast. Do I agree with that? Do I really believe that in my heart of hearts? Are knishes / super pedantically French fries calzones or toast? I'm gonna have to really think about that. Is Stollen sushi? How the fuck is Stollen sushi? Stollen's not sushi. Oh, are you talking about like if you make it traditionally with like the marzipan roll in the middle? In that case, yes, but only if the marzipan pokes out of the two ends. Otherwise, if you have like store-bought Stollen, where it's basically just a loaf with like, fillings inside, like spread, I think that that's definitely toast for sure. There's nothing non-starch, then it is still a loaf. That's probably true. If there's not, but so that I agree with. But then if it's a different kind of starch, I think like it starts to like if we're talking like a dough that's wrapping like a potato filling, where this is like bread and this is like potato. That's where I have issues. I'd say calzone. Yeah, it's definitely a calzone if the marzipan is like the tube of marzipan is like there, but it's like enclosed on all sides. That's a calzone. What about a slice of Stollen? Slice of Stollen, again, if we're talking like the marzipan tube, then I mean that's definitely textbook sushi, where you just have like Stollen and then like in the middle is like a tube of marzipan. If we're talking like store-bought Stollen, where it's, then that's just toast for sure. Are trees sushi or quiches? Where's the starch? What we gotta calm down. All right. Stollen is the word in English. Didn't know that. No, Stollen is just a culinary item in German, and it also exists in this part of the world. And why would we like make up another word for something that's, you know what I mean? Like English is basically German anyway, so yeah, we just take it, Like, croissant is a word in English, right? I mean, we butcher it. It's spelled croissant, but like we don't have a different word for it. You know what I mean? Same with Stollen, and marzipan as well. I think the issue is the assumption that starch is only located on the surface. That's certainly where the subtleties lie. You have to keep a steady hand when you're trying to sort of pinpoint and organize these on a case by case basis. Trees are calzones. Where's the starch? Unless you're talking about like I don't know. I don't consider tree bark a starch, but if tree bark is a starch, then yeah, trees are calzones. I remember seeing video where two guys made the biggest sandwich by putting two pieces on the ground on different sides of the earth. I'll take points for creativity. Why not? Then again, is there always is Earth constantly a sandwich? I'm sure that at any point in time, a slice of bread somewhere at two places in the world is on the ground. Just, statistically speaking, probably. Especially if you think of like, food that gets thrown out or whatever. Earth's probably always a sandwich. 1, take a piece of toast. 2, put into a calzone. Oh, here we go. Okay, we're going along for the ride. Lawnmower's taking us for a ride. Take a piece of toast, put it into a calzone, wrap the calzone to make sushi, take your creation and put it in a taco, put it all into a bread bowl, add 2 slices of bread to make a sandwich. You've just created the start singularity. Here's my take on that. Similar to the argument earlier, I think that is definitely a sandwich. I think that you have to look at like the macro level of what's going on. I think that like at surface level, it can be described as a sandwich between which there's others, like 2 pieces of bread between which there's other stuff. That's a sandwich to me, even though, you've gone out of your way to create this hilarious start singularity, which I am entertained by, but I will also submit is certainly a sandwich in my book. Someone keeping track of the equations can later substitute for setting further arguments. This is too hard. Can you get back to 5D chess, please? You lost me at cube. I'm loving this discussion. It's a classic linguistics problem. Yeah, now we're in this is Poison's area here. She's really thriving in her this is her dojo. We are but guests in these semantic, rhetorical, arguments. Donuts are sushis. What's the filling? No, donuts aren't sushi. Calm down. Donuts are toast unless there's a filling. For the same reason that bagels are toast. Plain and simple. Donuts are sushis if you have a donut and then in the middle of the donut, like in the donut hole, there is a filling. That's a sushi. Otherwise, it's toast. If the donut has a filling, like it's a jelly donut, like where, like where you've got like the fully enclosed and then you've put the filling inside the donut, that's a calzone. I think that's pretty clear. Just uploaded game 2, but I see this is a bad time. Yeah, get out of here, Lexi. No, but I will check that out. There are more prevalent discussions to be had. Andre, can something be in the superposition of 2 foods? Questionable. Trees do have starch. Like croissant. Why would we make up another word? You're asking me. Lol, pineapple. That's fair. But ananas isn't German, is what I'm saying. Like, for the most part, we're pretty cool with that. Pen, pineapple, apple, pen. Thank you, Andre. Trees are long-chain carbohydrates fully enclosing other components to range to a calzone. You know what? Poison's convinced me. Trees are a calzone. Even though they're not edible, I'm with you. Ananas gang? Yeah, it's ananas in Turkish. Although in Turkish, we have our word for banana is like, you know how there's like the funny thing where like pineapple is like ananas in literally every language, and then English is just like, you know, pineapple. In Turkish, our word for banana, which is the same for like basically every language ever, is muz, M-U-Z, muz, randomly, and it makes no fucking sense. So I think we got to be careful pointing fingers, Sarp. But we are ananas gang in Turkish. I read hydrocarbon instead of carbohydrate and was so confused. Yeah, interesting. Much more volatile calzone in that situation. That just makes it a sandwich. Oh, Poison and I are just we're right there. You know, we're on the same wavelength. How is this field of study called? Unemployedness. I think it's a calzone. The field of study? That's a bit too meta for me. I did my entire daily workout and we're still talking about starch food classification. Prototype linguistics? There you go. From the expert herself. Ian's here. Dave told me there's a very important discussion going on here, and I'd like to drop in and say that latkes are heterogeneous, and therefore the starch is not confined to particular locations. Latkes... Are latkes heterogeneous? Aren't latkes like hash browns? Okay, let's look up latkes. I can't catch up. I've been waiting. I need to leave. So I've just been waiting for chat to catch up in chat so I can say, okay, great, I'm glad we got here. But I do really need to cut myself off here in a bit. Let's look up latkes. Okay. We looked up latkes. To me, maybe I've got like a naive eye here, but this basically looks like a hash brown, man. Do you know, like, okay, there are some fillings. Oh, we have actually similar things to this in Turkey. Similar foods. It might be a Black Sea coast thing. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, I might get hate for this, but I'm gonna stand by my former decision of calling this toast. I think latkes are toast. I just do. That's how I feel about it. What if you put two slices of bread on the ground right next to each other? Is there enough curvature to call it an earth sandwich? I'm going to say no. And I mean, that's, maybe it's not fun to dispel this, you know, like the academic pedantry with which we're scrutinizing these definitions from like an algebraic topology perspective. But I definitely think that two slices of bread on the ground, a sandwich does not make. My grandfather told me that, you know, and I'm going to take that to the grave. That was with his dying breath as well. It's like, never forget, if you put two pieces of bread on the ground, you do not have an earth sandwich. Very somber memory for me, so thanks for bringing that up, Average. Okay, moving on. Imagine someone finds this extreme object in the future. Donuts have a filling of air? I don't think it counts. Because then, okay, like a slice of bread, which is certainly toast, anything you consider, you know, has, I mean, there are cavities, right? It's porous. And I think that doesn't count. I think that the filling of air doesn't count. The way they found black holes predicted by... Well, that cut off. I can't see the rest of that message. They need to be at least 120 degrees apart to count as a sandwich, otherwise it's toast. I respect that rule of thumb. I think Poison's on a roll. I think she's smashing it. If you zoom out far enough from a sandwich, it's a toast? No, because there are two disconnected. They're like topologically disconnected. The space is separable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I contest this definition. What if you have a filling both inside the donut and in the middle? Ah. In that case, again, I'm going to go for like macro outermost level. I'm going to go with sushi. Like if you have like a round donut that's got like a tube of filling within the ring, but then you put something on the inside, I'm going to call that a sushi. John's here. Shiny Bronzong. How's it going? Pretty sure calzones are dumplings. Calzones are dumplings. No, famously. Come on, dude. Somebody didn't do their homework. John, you got to get with the program. Calzones are dumplings. Calzones are dumplings. For sure. Calzone sushi hybrid. What about 2 slices of toast on a plate with an arch shape of... What about 2 slices of toast on a plate with an arch shape of filling bridging across them? I think the angle is what's important. The angle is what's important. So you're saying like you have an arch of filling and then like you smack 2 slices of bread on. I think it depends on the angle. And I think that my criterion might actually be probably 90 degrees realistically. Because that's where like a 90 degrees between the 2 slices of bread is the point where any further apart and they would no longer be facing each other. Like, let me put it this way. If they were any smaller than 90 degrees, like this is like an inflection point because the normal of one of the slices of bread would intersect the plane of the other slice of bread, whereas any greater than that, and that would never happen. So I think that bread 90 degrees is like, if the arch is small enough that you can get the breads, orthogonal, then that's sandwich. Otherwise it's toast. Those are my two cents on the issue. Ananas is a German word. No, I mean, I know. I know that that's what it is in German. I'm saying like, originally. Yeah, banana is muz in Turkish. Yeah. They're the same equivalence class. Yeah. Point still stands though, from where it originally came from. Smet's playing the classic duo citizenship whenever it's convenient card. Actually, I have triple citizenship. But yeah, I mean, I take my 3 passports to the bank, man. Not literally. That's dangerous, but yeah, whenever it's convenient. All right, chat, stop for a minute. Kek W. I want to eat so badly and it's all food pictures. What are these? Oh God. Dude. Okay. It depends on how much. So, I mean, this is just like pasta, right? It's all starch, so it's pretty easy. I think that this is whatever spaghetti is, which is probably salad. Or whatever rice is probably. I don't think this is toast. I don't think so. Like the separability of the situation makes it feel like not toast to me. I think that's an easy salad. I think that plain pasta, like bits of pasta, I think that's easy salad. Easy salad. You are entitled to your wrong Latka opinion. Cheers. I also respect your wrong Latka opinion. 2 slices of bread on the ground, a sandwich does not make okay, Yoda? Yeah. Everyone has the right to agree with Cement. They certainly do. What is starch itself? What category does that fall under? The whole argument here is don't try and get wise here. The whole argument is the structure. You can't just say what is starch itself. The whole point is the shape of the starch. It's like a structural classification. So come on, let's get serious. Like how we have more chat now than during the game, so Cement can't catch up. I cannot catch up. Yeah, that's where we have trouble finding a category. Since it's direct conversation. It might appear to be toast, but the truth correspondence of the object doesn't change, just the epistemological perception. That's fair, but my point stands in that situation. it also doesn't appear to be toast. That's where I think that you're overcomplicating the situation here. By Semet's logic, starch would just be a toast, right? What do you mean by starch? Didn't the pumpkin pie also have 90 degrees? No, the pumpkin pie was greater than 90 degrees. Here, the slice of pumpkin pie, that's not 90, man. Yeah, for sure. It's got to be small. But the connectedness in this situation is actually different. So if it's connected, if the pumpkin pie, like, that's connected. So if it went greater than 90 degrees, like it came toward the middle, I would call that a taco. In the 2 slices of bread or 2 pieces of toast or whatever on the plate with the filling in the middle in the shape of an arch, that was potentially a sandwich because the bread is disconnected. But yeah, this angle is greater than 90 degrees anyway. Ruining Semet's time management 101. Yeah, as if my time management didn't suffer enough in game. We got to do this now. Rice has its own category. Oh yeah, okay. Let's pause on reading chat and actually get to the very end. So we went through salad, muffins, or other blocks of starch are type 1 toast in raw unsliced form. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that confirmed that's consistent with what we've been saying. Like, a loaf of bread is toast. A loaf of plain bread is certainly toast. So this, I jive with this. Rice. Oh no, they've opened Pandora's box, haven't they? You're free to interpret the nature of rice however you wish. I think it depends on the dish. I think that in almost every situation, rice is probably salad. I mean, obviously, like in sushi, like with rice and sushi, that makes it like sushi if it's like around the outside. I think that if you have like, beans on rice, there's an argument to be made, maybe that it's toast, or something along those lines. But if it's like rice mixed up with other stuff, I think it's the same as spaghetti, right? No one's going to argue that like if you replace the noodles here with rice grains, that's the same deal. Yeah. Salad. Agreed on the, hold on. Is raw wheat flour a salad? I would argue yes. What do you call those horrid pasta artwork things you did in primary/preschool? Abominations. Now I've sent you a DM. I've got to open up Twitch now. All right, I'll check it later. Or it's on Discord. I'll check it later. Agreed on the greater than or less than 90 degrees toast versus taco distinction, if connected, that is. And then Poison said, nah, that is bullshit. A solid block of starch is not toast. I see. What about 2 unconnected starches less than 90 degrees? 2 unconnected, by less than 90 degrees, do you mean they're more open, or like is it more obtuse or more acute? Because if it's like more obtuse and it's 2 unconnected starches, to me that's probably toast. Even though it's more than one, that's a good question. Because it is more than one. And I do think that a bucket of toast is a salad. Like if you had like many toasts. But I think that with 2, you still call it toast. Maybe 2 individual toasts. At that point, I wouldn't really call it like a single thing. Yeah. Because if you have like 4 slices of toast, that they've all got toppings on top, that's just different instances of toast, right? Yeah, but if it's more acute and there's a thing in the middle, and they're unconnected starches, then that's a sandwich. That's what I'm saying. Solid block of starch is not toast is what Poison thinks. What would you call it then, Poison? So what's a solid block of starch if not toast? Like, do you think that it would be salad maybe? Or quiche? I don't know, it's tough. Like, if not toast, then what? I don't know. Rice by itself has got to be toast, right? I don't know, because mashed potatoes are salad. And I mean, the only difference is like the level of granularity, right? Like The compactness issue stands. Mashed potatoes is mashed potatoes is a salad. I think I skipped Poise's comment earlier that said if that is true, then fries without toppings are rice. Oh, rice has its own category is what Sarp was saying, that rice has its own. Okay. No, but I think that Sarp was just saying that rice is, mentioned on its own on the page, right? And I think that it's dish based. I think that like plain rice is probably a salad because mashed potatoes are a salad. That's what I think. It's like F7 sack stream all over again. It really is. Rice can have a solid structure. It can. That's why I'm saying like rice in general is it's like really based on the individual dish. So it should be toast. IMO, dude, come on. Like what? Like a bowl of rice? What like bowl of rice are you eating? Where you can pick up one rice and the rest of the rice comes with it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Do you also think that mashed potatoes should be toast? I mean, I think in a situation if it's like compressed into like a, some like rice cake, then you can call that toast. But like on its own, I don't know. What type of food are old sneakers? The canvas / cloth top has to be some sort of carb, but I don't think you could argue it's on the bottom like toast. I think we agreed that in that situation, it's still toast. I think that like starch on the bottom versus starch on the top is still toast if it's like plain, if like the starch is just a layer of starch. I think that that's probably still toast. Take a plate, place 2 slices of toast apart on the plate. Stack filling on the toast until the two piles meet in an arch shape, joining the 2 separate slices of parallel toast. No, that's toast, dude. That's toast. A bucket of toast is a salad. That's how I feel. He's almost caught up. Quick spam messages. Dude, no, that's definitely toast. Because if you have toast, okay, sometimes you're feeling, you're feeling real good about yourself. You're like Saturday morning, you're making a luxurious breakfast as you're wont to do. You make 2 slices of toast. At least I do like French style scramble, and then I stack it up real nice. Put some creme fraiche in there, chop in some fresh chives. Oh, bliss. Anyway. So you got your avocado toast situation going on, and your 2 slices, and oftentimes, because the eggs are, somewhat sort of runny, ish, they'll like overlap, and they'll be like touching, but it's still 2 slices of toast. And I understand what you're trying to say. If you have like 2 slices of toast here, and then you stack up more stuff so that it creates like an arch, I think that that's still 2 toasts where the toppings of the toasts are touching. I stand by my 90-degree rule, man. But it is very creative. Now, what if that is toast? What if you stack up layers of toast, like those like book arches that people do, at like, I don't know, bougie events? I think that's probably still toast. I don't think that's a salad. What the fuck are Maltesers? Oh, that's funny. Maltesers, I believe, are malted milk balls. Or, like we have like Whoppers. They're like a candy. It's like well, okay, you clearly know what Maltesers are. So what you're asking is, Maltesers have starch in the middle. I think it's starch. Seems like starch. And there's chocolate on the outside, which we asked before. I think maybe Lawnmower or Alex. Someone asked what is like chocolate with like a biscuit, or like, a chocolate covered biscuit or something like that. And I think probably we call those toast, man. I think that like the filling of the topping of the toast being all around the toast probably still makes it toast, because we're just talking about like relative starch locations. I think Maltesers are probably toast. No, I would just make loaf as a separate category from toast as starch only solids. I think that is, yeah, you're sort of compromising the, like the compactness of the system for rigor, which I respect immensely. So I think that Poison's interpretation is certainly valid. Solid block of toast is toast for people who think toast is too spicy. Solid block of starch. I see. Yeah. Yeah. What if you had, yeah. Okay. But what if, so in this case, we've called it toast because of the shape, but toast is obviously like bread that's undergone the Maillard reaction. You could maybe argue that it has to be a slice of bread, but then what about like a loaf of bread that's just toasted? You know, like the whole thing, like inside out. I don't know, like, you know, you like slow bake it in the oven, like post bake, you know. Is the image I sent on Lexi's Discord toast? Okay. Image was sent. We have to check. Image was sent. Let's open up my stream or my Discord on the other monitor just in case. Okay, Sarp asks if this is toast for the same reason that averages is not toast. Or sorry. He asks if this is toast. For the same reason that averages example is toast, I think that this is toast. Yeah, I think that this is for sure. Jesus Christ, Andre. Okay, so this is Andre's picture. I think this is still toast. Even though, you know, culinarily you might call it a sandwich, the way that you wouldn't, you know, technically cereal is a soup, but you probably wouldn't call it a soup. I think that, yeah, okay, layman's terms, but for cube rule classification purpose, we're men of science, all right? And women, of course. And so this is definitely, we have to call this toast against our, you know, against our every whims. This is so cursed, dude. No, this is definitely toast. There's no way this is a sandwich. Like the angle between the bread has to be, you know, like I understand what you're saying here, right? Because the angle is like, okay, so you have 90 degrees and then it gets closer and closer and closer. This is so ridiculous. So you know, from 90, you go to 0 like that. But I mean, I think that it's clear that this is 180. Because how would you make this in such a way that they start at 90 degrees and then turn inward from each other? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I think that if you have a slice of bread here and a slice of bread here, and then you rotate this inward so that you're definitely like reducing the angle between the two from like a practical perspective, then, I mean, yeah, like I definitely think that this, I mean, okay, do we really have to introduce like a handedness argument? Okay, I think that you have to define a handedness, and then the toast, you have to make your, like, the angular transformations that you're making, the rotations that you generate, have to follow they have to preserve chirality. Okay. What are we doing? Sorry, it's just hearing myself say that last sentence just really, I have work to do. I have a meeting in 12 minutes. I have opinions on this. I could write a paper on this. No, but I think the handedness and the chirality, that's the key. I think it's left as an exercise to the reader. Just my mic just fell over. I'm losing my mind. Let's try and get through this. Single grain of rice is a loaf. That's sticky rice. I think website creator wasn't thinking when they classified mash as rice instead of toast. Salad is something without starch. No. Salad definitely isn't. Like, they're defining, this was also Poison's issue, is that it's kind of willy-nilly. Like, there are definitely starches in the salad example. And, you know, yeah, I think that, like, non-starch, full loaf of starch, and, like, granular amounts of something, like rice or mashed potatoes, I think that realistically you could probably put those into the same, or into different, you could split those up into their individual things. By the logic of this, yeah, they've called amorphous starches salads. Oh my god, did Void just get here? What are we watching? Hi Void, welcome to the stream. The salad category is all over the place. It really is. I think author meant lack of structural integrity. I think the arguments have been largely structural. I mean, based on starch location. Like, again, there's like a structural relativism that you have to employ for a lot of these situations. 60 chess, at least. Speedrunning breakfast. I did speedrun breakfast. If it's all toast, then it's a loaf. If there are non-starch elements mixed into the arch, then it becomes a cake. Wow. So then Poison's definition relies on like the thickness of the slice. Because obviously if I have a single piece, like what constitutes a loaf? Because if I have like a loaf of bread and I cut off the ends, then suddenly it is like long toast, right? But then if you keep making slices, by the continuous value theorem, since at some point you have just a slice of toast, which inarguably is undisputably is certainly a slice of toast. You can't, by the intermediate value theorem, there has to be some point at which there's a crossover from, toast to loaf. And my question is how you make that distinction. And if you make such a distinction, I think that it becomes really difficult to suddenly be able to say, because, it's like an open set in terms of like connectedness. So like, what is, one like infinitesimal, you have to do like a delta epsilon proof, like real analysis style, I think, to really, I think that's tricky. I think that's tricky. Unless you have like a, reasonable, if it's like if it's greater than a cube, then it's, like a cube is the cube rule. Maybe we can institute the cube rule. Where if the toast is like longer by the non-crust dimensions, then, if it's like a tube but extruded, or if it's a cube but extruded, like a rectangular prism that's like longer than a cube, then I think that's probably loaf, and then smaller is toast. We can call that the cube rule. Mobius toast. Oh my God. We haven't even touched on non-Euclidean or non-orientable geometries, guys. What is real projective space toast? Wow. Jeez. From the woman's post of the 5D chess gameplay, I usually don't check out that channel, but sure, I just spread the word of the stream, ATM. Wait, what is this? 5D chess game? Who posted 5D chess gameplay? I don't know. I submitted my toast. Review my toast. We've become a toast review channel. I think it's actually against Twitch TOS to be like not doing a thing for this. Is this sausage? Is this a sandwich? Okay, Sarp. So let's just address this. Not a sandwich. Very clearly the starch location, there's nothing between the two starches. Textbook, not a sandwich. This. Void asked if this is a sausage. The answer is no, but it's definitely a sandwich. Like for sure a sandwich. Okay, C252 asks, does a sandwich need to be path connected? And this is a really good one. I think this is a sandwich. But I think that it is a sandwich. You know what's funny? I think that like our orientation with respect to space, I think that this isn't like an isomorphic determination, or an isotropic determination rather. I think that gravity, in practical terms, really breaks the symmetry spontaneously. I think that it becomes an anisotropic system where you have to like take, basically gravity into account here. I think if this is just if we're seeing this like, if this is our top-down view of a plate, I think it's toast. Do I believe that? I think I do, because, well, it depends on what this thing is. What is the green? Because this must be fluid based on what I'm seeing here. If it's just fluid on a plate that weakly connects two vertically suspended slices of bread that are facing each other but that have something spread on top, that's probably toast. If this is vertical, where this is the ground, that's why I'm saying the orientation matters. This isn't an isotropic system. I think that makes it a sandwich easily. For those interested, you should definitely look up prototype. I thought the screen I just posted was bad, but oh god, have I? If you make gumbo the brown colors from the flour and the roux undergoing the Maillard reaction, is gumbo toast. Gumbo's a salad, dude. Although gumbo, if it coats everything, gumbo's a salad. I need to leave. I have a meeting that's like a non-trivial important meeting with like heads of like organizations where I represent a large number of workers officially. So I really need to go. We're gonna speed run the rest of this discussion. I really need to leave. Chirality of Toast Kick W. For those interested, look at prototype there. Are playing 60 chess? Always have been. We are one sub trying away from Summit's mental breakdown. I think just a few more, you know, you just got to introduce maybe some like non-abelian geometry, and then you're good. Or non-abelian, you know what I mean. Not gonna go. This stream is the most fun thing I've watched all day. We did it, chat. We fucking did. Maybe this is going on YouTube after all. It's kind of poetic that who brought this up has poison in their name, you know. I mean, toxic and poison are two different words, but shitpost safe for work. Don't have time because that's a video. Well, it's like a pile of rice. Removing one grain is still a pile, and for this same for the next grain, but at some point it becomes a single grain. Yeah, but that's discrete. Okay, we're not. This is continuous versus discrete. Grains of rice, like that set is, you know, has fixed boundary, right? It's, you know, it's like the space is closed of like an individual, topologically of an individual rice grain. So I don't know if that scans. MCS or MC cheeseburger. This is a sandwich or a McDonald's burger when you open the box. I think that if you open the box and you've got the two different, if you've got like bread and shit on it, well, that's McDonald's for you. But no, I think that it's toast until you close it up. Even though, you know, there's like a ship of Theseus thing going on there that we could really get into actually, where, you know, like what are the... Okay, I need to leave. Oh god, non-isotropicity. What if you take a path integral of an absolute value of the filling? I mean, sounds clever, but means nothing unless you give me an example. You'll be thinking about toast the whole meeting. You're not even wrong. There's no world in which I don't just think about toast for the next. Show them non-isotropic sandwich, ask them for their opinions. So if twist 45 degrees left and then 45 degrees right, it still adds up to 90 degrees. We're talking net, okay? This is like least action path. The sandwich classification operates on a least action principle. Okay, I don't have time to get into that. I'd show you the path integrals, the Feynman formulation, but no. If you open the box, if it's two slices of bread with sauce on it and the fillings spreading all over the place, McDonald's burgers are not isotropic. Okay, we made it to the bottom of chat. I need to leave like yesterday. Like I'm gonna be late for this really important meeting. Because I need to go to the bathroom really badly before the meeting. Okay, I'll tell them I had technical difficulties. I'll maybe make a joke about being stuck in like, you know, non-orientable space, and they'll be like, "How funny," but I'll have been serious. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It was a good game to our opponent. GG. Maybe I'll just tack this onto the league game. What a shit show today's been. Super fun. Thanks everyone for joining. We got a few new follows, got a few new subs. Thanks so much, everybody. I don't know. You can probably expect this discussion on YouTube if there's demand for it. But this is me signing off. Don't have time to raid anybody. So, you know, just go tell people that 5D chess exists. Just go grab your neighbor, your uncle, your cat, scream 5D chess at them, and you'll be doing God's work. All right. That's it for me. But for now, see you guys later. Catch you on the stream on Saturday.